What's going on, everybody? Tom Mackrola, TommyBagaloans.com, out here with investor, realtor, lender, real estate extraordinaire, Real Estate Applegate.
My name is Mike Applegate, aka Real Estate Applegate. I am the president of Straight A Properties in Chicago. I'm a licensed realtor with Keller Williams Premier Properties in Glen Ellen, and I'm also a licensed mortgage loan originator with Midwest Equity Mortgage in Oak Brook. Hey Tom, it's a pleasure being here with you. Tom actually did the loan for my buyer on my first flip in Ashburn. He was an angel in disguise, had the right product for my client that I didn't have at the time. There was definitely a deal that I won on. I told him I'd never forget him for that. He's one of the best in the business.
All right, so we're just going to get into a couple questions. I get a lot of questions from aspiring investors.
Okay.
Your first tip that you would tell somebody looking to get into real estate investing?
Okay, first tip, if you're looking to get into the game, if you're looking to invest, if you're looking to build wealth, you have to educate yourself. You have to find a mentor. You have to pick up a couple of books, and you have to take your craft very, very seriously. You also got to be patient. You have to understand that education is going to take time. You have to have the type of attitude where you're willing to sacrifice in the short term with respect to just spending time reading books, following good people on the internet, really just applying yourself with the confidence to know that you're going to be able to apply that knowledge fairly quickly, especially in a market like this, and be able to purchase, be able to invest, be able to buy and flip, accrue some rental property for some residual income. But it's going to take time. All of this is associated with a learning curve that really no one can get around. My best friends in the business, some of my best mentors, my best partners that I do a lot of business with these days, purchasing property, investing, etc. They all have the same story. It took them a while. It took them about 6 months maybe to find their first deal. Maybe their first deal they didn't make money on. But those people didn't give up. If you got that type of attitude, starting with education, you're in a good place so far.
Another question that comes up rather often, I know that you are someone who has a broker's license,
yes,
but you're also an investor.
Yes.
How important is it for an investor to also have a broker's license?
It's not a necessity. You could definitely buy real estate, renovate real estate, align yourself with great realtors to, not only guide you through the process of what an end buyer may be looking for in the home that you're renovating, align yourself with great realtors that have a good track record of selling property. You don't necessarily need to have that license, I would say. If you don't have the time to go to school, if you just want to invest and you don't want to go through the necessary steps to become a realtor, don't be afraid. That's not a prerequisite. But obviously having a license is going to help you a ton. You're going to be able to take the real estate course, which is going to give you a ton of knowledge, just to assist you in picking the right property, determining valuation, understanding location, legalities, etc. You're also going to have access to great tools like the MLS. You can search for your own inventory. You're going to be able to save on the buying agent side if you actually purchase an investment property off the MLS. You're going to be able to save on the listing agent side when you list your own property. So you're going to be able to save thousands of dollars, if you do decide to go that approach. I would say it's only going to help, but it's not a requirement. It's going to put you in a situation where you have a competitive advantage over a lot of other investors that maybe don't have that license or that designation. So it's your choice, it's your preference.
What else do you want to add to it? What's the 2 cents you'd like to throw in just about anything related to the subject?
Man, the 2 cents that I like to throw in, maybe if I had to pick 2 cents, is decide if you really want it or not. If you want to get involved in real estate, don't jump in with your toe in the water. Jump in full force. And if you do have a full-time job, there's still no excuse. The typical, individual with a job maybe gets off work 5 or 6 o'clock at night. You got between 6, 7 o'clock, all the way to 2 or 3 a.m. to educate yourself and immerse yourself in the business. And if I had to give another tip, that's sense number 1. Sense number 2, I would say, reach out to mentors. Reach out to individuals that invest. Get around those individuals. They'll show you the type of money that they're making. They'll show you some of the deals that they're closing. That's going to change your perspective. It's going to raise your consciousness as well. Sometimes we got to get around people that are doing it just like I did. They show you checks and you're like, just surprised, with all the money, that they've made with very simple investments. I would suggest anyone that's curious about getting involved is make some new friends. Maybe they'll let you in, on some of the business, that they have for that month or some of their accomplishments from that year. And if you really want it, if this is something that's necessary for you and your family, or if you just want a different life or a little bit more freedom, it's definitely going to inspire you. So I would say that's probably tip number 2.
So as far as your personal preference on investment intention,
Yeah.
are you more in regards to investing for cash flow or investing for appreciation and capital gains?
Great question. Well, when I first started buying property, as communicated before, he actually found the buyer for my very first flip about 2.5 years ago in Ashburn. This guy knocked on my door, had the perfect product for these buyers that really, really wanted the home. I needed this product to close on this particular property, so he was right on time. With respect to strategy, I started buying, renovating, and flipping to accrue, capital to be able to buy and hold. That's what I would suggest for an individual that may not have as much capital. Get with a mentor, buy smart, educate yourself so that you make sure that you win on that project. But when you have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, to play with, essentially, you have money for the down payments required for the buy and hold properties. Non-owner occupied investment property is going to require at least a 15% down payment. So that's a big chunk of change if you're buying $200,000 or $300,000, 3 or 4 units in Chicago. You want to be able to build the capital, store all of the cash as possible, save money from your 9 to 5, etc. But buying and flipping is the introductory strategy to build capital to actually get involved in the real wealth building strategy, which is buying and holding. But you got to have the capital for those 15% down payments before you're able to play that game. So, like I said, it all starts with education, but that's a strategy that I would suggest. And then you're going to learn a lot about how to build a home, how to work with the city with respect to the permit process. You're going to build relationships with contractors through your first couple of flips, and when it's time to buy and hold, you've seen everything before, and it's going to be a lot more simple.
Dealing with contractors, do you have any quick tips for the people that want to know about dealing with contractors?
Man, try to find a contractor where they came via a referral from someone that is heavy in the game. You've seen their work. First of all, you have a tremendous amount of respect from the person the referral is coming from. You definitely want that referral base. I really wouldn't recommend just looking on Yellow Pages or calling random contractors. You want to make sure you work with someone that has worked with someone that you respect, first and foremost. And you want to interview your contractor. You want to see how many jobs that they have going on right now. Are they actually going to put the attention toward your project, or are they spread too thin? Part of the interview process for myself now is, if I'm working with someone brand new, I want to see your work. What projects do you have going on right now that I can actually physically see, from maybe the beginning stages, the middle stages. I want to see how you clean up your final punch list. I want to see how you finish, your attention to detail. I need to physically see it and not hear it from you or see it on the website. That's very important as well. So just vetting them for the amount of projects that they have going on and physically seeing, and coming from a referral base that you respect. You want to be as diligent as possible when it comes to picking your contractor. That's 70% of the flip. Finding the property is easy, especially if you're working with a person like me. I can find undervalued inventory. Finding the property is easy. Calculating your profit margin is easy if you execute, but having the right contractor could ruin all of that. So remember those tips.
Sure. And great information. I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
And,
no doubt.
Yeah, thanks.
No doubt.
Thanks for.
Hey, look, and I
questions.
really appreciate you doing this, man. You're definitely, I consider someone as a partner. To get involved with anything involved in real estate. This guy definitely saved my ass on my first flip. So I won big, because of Tom. So make sure you guys reach out to him. He knows the lending business inside and out.